Hi ladies and gents, Pond here with another video for Rise of Empires, Ice and Fire. Today we are doing another season hero review. We're on to the SX3 heroes and the first one in the list is the Lawman. So let's have a look at her. So the Lawman, or Shannon as is her first name, she is a cavalry hero. She's a defensive hero. That means she's going to be most suitable for front row squads. And really, you're going to want to put her on the front row, nowhere else. There's a couple of reasons for that. So let's look at her skills. You can see I have her in my account, but I've only got the one duplicate for her. I picked her up in Eden Season 2 rewards. So I'm going to be hoping to pick her up again. I'm very close to getting a second duplicate from Fragments. So I will be opening her 6th skill first. So for Lawman being a front row hero, you'll want to unlock her 6th skill first, then 8th skill, then 7th skill in that order. Talking about her skills, let's have a look at them. So skill 1 is of course the dictator leadership skill, adding the 23,100 troops to the heroes squad. Skill 2, brutal force. It's a status skill, one of these excellent status skills that activates before the battle. It can't be CC'd, corral controlled, it can't be suppressed, silenced, etc. So this is going to activate at the beginning of every battle. And it targets one random enemy squad within effective range. When self squad is taking damage, 50% chance... No, this wording is actually wrong. Because there's a 50% chance to deal up to 38.5% damage. It's actually more than that when you add in the extras. And you're doing damage to 2 random squads within the range of 2. So this is effectively a counter attack. So when obviously being on the front row, that is the row which all opponents' basic attacks are targeting, plus a lot of their combat skill damage as well. So front rows take the most damage. So basically 50% of the time that you're taking damage, you're going to deal damage back to the enemy, and not just one squad but 2 squads. So this is nice. It's on top of the other damage that you're doing from your normal skills as well. So it's going to activate a lot of the time in the battle, pretty much every turn, because it's 50% chance. And obviously you are getting damage to you multiple times, if that makes sense, each turn. On to the 3rd and 4th skill, of course, it's the usual leadership skills, defensive formation on skill 3, increasing your resistance by 50% in your legion. And then skill 4 is the offensive formation, adding up to 50% might for your legion. Skill 5, her second hero specific skill, is reinforcements. Again, it's a second status skill. So Lawman is one of the few heroes in the game that has 2 status skills out of her 3. So she is really, really top end, valuable hero. The effective range for this is 3. And the reason for that is that it's going to target one random friendly squad within range, but also your self squad. So self squad and one random friendly squad recover some troops each turn, up to a maximum of 90. Oh, this should read 96.5%. So that's nearly 200% recovery. This is if you times it by 2 for each squad. You're looking at, I think it's around nearly 6,600 troops per round potentially, because it's guaranteed. It's happening every time. So you can recover approximately 6 if this activates every turn, and it's 2 squads. You can actually recover nearly 70,000 troops during the battle. So that's how key this skill is, and the fact that it's only the 5th skill is absolutely brilliant. So this is one of the best troop recovery skills in the game. Skill 6, as usual, it's the awakened skill, so you'll get the 250% bonus to the leadership skills, maximizing your troop count in the legion. Plus, as Lawman is a defensive hero, you're getting 20% extra resistance, so that's a nice buff to the resistance. Your troops can take more damage. A lot of the time you might be thinking, oh, well, a front row hero would also have extra HP as well, so the troops last longer. But of course, she's got such a good recovery skill, healing skill, that actually the fact that she doesn't have HP, it's not such an issue. And then you've got an extra 120 cavalry speed. That's nice because it's one of the highest in the game. Only Rosen is going to beat this, and that means that you'll most likely, against most opponents, this squad, your squad, will attack first, which is again a really key element in the game. So, onto the 7th skill. It's not resistance, it's might, but that's absolutely fine. Like later in the game, you're coming up against tougher opponents to kill. Actually, having more might across all 3 of your heroes in the squad might be more benefit, because then your troops are doing more damage. And as I say, when you've got a hero that is healing, then the fact that this isn't resistance is not such a big issue, because Lawman is not only healing her own squad, she's going to be healing one of the other squads in your legion. So this might buff is actually pretty good. It fits in well with what you're trying to do. And then skill 8 is High Noon. This one is a combat skill. The effective range is 3, and it's actually targeting the other friendly squads and your squad in your legion. The only downside is it's a 40% chance to then reduce 30% damage taken for self squad. So this is just basically buffing your squad so that it takes less damage. And then randomly, the second part of the skill is basically exactly the same thing, but just worded different. Take 30% damage from the enemies for the other 2 friendly squads for 2 turns. So this is basically, again, you're weakening the enemy attack by 30%. So in total, you're actually reducing the damage taken by 90% across your 3 squads. That's what this skill is doing. Again, a really good defensive skill, buffing all of your legion, all of your squads in your legion, and that is going to make all of your troops last longer. It lasts for 2 turns, so 40% chance, probably going to activate 3 times in a battle, 3 to 5 times max, I would guess, in a battle. And the fact that it's for 2 turns, well, that is probably going to cover 75% of the battle most times. So when you initially read this, oh, it's a chance skill, actually it probably will activate and cover you most of the battle, and it's impacting on all 3 of your legions. So that is all 3 of your squads in your legion. So that is really good. Let's go into a battle video, as we always do on the hero guides. So we have had Heroes Duel this week. We're up against State 83. Shout out to everyone in State 83. I swapped points, we exchanged points with a couple of players earlier on, had a chat with some guys there, so thank you very much for your hospitality, and a few viewers from the channel there, so that was really nice to see. Back to the battle video, we're going to have a pop up here and look at Nafina from one of my friends, Nafina. She was up against Tomato from State 83, and Nafina does have the Lawman, Army Breaker, Avalanche combo. That is one of the best combinations of cavalry heroes that you can get at the moment, and she does have them maxed as well, so this is going to be a good example. So we're going to have a look at Lawman now in this battle video. She was only up against 1 S3 hero and then 2 orange heroes, so it's not, and also Nafina does have some Dragon Master, well, 1 piece of Dragon Master, so that's, you'll see that it's not a balanced battle, but this is kind of a good example of the differences between what you're going to see between SX and normal orange. So we'll get straight into the battle, guys. So Nafina's at the top here, so there is the Brutal Force skill activating before the battle, and Avalanche's status skills are activating, all the prep skills are activating. Now, we've seen some damage there. So do you see the minus 900s? That is the Brutal Force countering skill. And then it's activated again there. And again. So even though it's 50% chance, it's happening a lot. We're getting reinforcements now. So that's 3,313 reinforcements. And with the High Noon, now the damage that all of the troops are receiving is going to be less. Those extra zeros there were from Army Breaker's recovery, not from Lawman's. So this damage, so you can see again, there's that counter activating again. It's doing 1,800 damage on its base level. And you can see the benefit of that reduced damage. Did you see we just had some high-powered attacks? There again, 3,313. So we're getting the recovery on the front row. We are actually getting some confusion here. I think that's caused by Rogue, if I remember rightly. So that's why there was some strange attacks there on each other in round 2. There we go. More countering again. So this, and then we're getting, you'll see reinforcements again, and we're actually, this middle row is getting so much healing that it's basically hardly losing any troops, which is really good, because it's highly unlikely, if you've got Lawman in your legion, not only is it highly unlikely that you're going to lose your front row in a battle, it's pretty much you're never going to see your middle row go as well. And reinforcements again, so there we go, 6,600 healing. High Noon is activated as well, so for turns 4 and 5 we're going to see reduced damage. Also, you can see now that this countering skill is actually picking up more damage in the opponent's troops. The reason for that is we've had Army Breaker's 8th skill activate, and that's giving a 47% buff, I think it's 47% buff to your might in your skills. So that's why it does might and resistance actually. So in the middle of the battle here, we're in a really good position. We're still chipping away at these front 2 rows of the opponent. And you can see we've got 15,000 more troops, approximately 15,000 more troops than the opponent's front row. And that is basically, you know, that's 5 times 3,300 healing, isn't it? So that is kind of going to be a key difference. And then the middle rows, you can see there's a massive difference there. The opponent's middle row is down to 82,000 troops. This middle row here with Army Breaker is actually still at full. It's at 108,000. So that's considerable. And now what you're happening with this combo is you're seeing Avalanche just absolutely blitz the opponent with cleave and with hack and slash, and then just this extra damage you're getting from the Lawman is basically an added bonus effectively. This is more of a, and there you go, the opponent's front row has already gone down, and then you're just going to see the middle and back rows get blitzed in the last 2 turns. So this is the big difference as well between having three SX heroes against, like, you know, orange and normal lower S heroes. Unless you're up against the Beast Queen Rose and Immortal combo, then you're gonna you're not probably going to stand a chance. Unless if you're running with SX, you're going to be very strong. The other thing to think about with this combination, so it is quite defensive, because you're getting the healing from both Army Breaker and from Lawman. So actually, at the end of that battle, we still had 42,000 troops on the front row. So that's give or take, that's 40% troops still survived at the front of that battle. The opponent lost their front row several rounds before the end of the battle. Middle and back row, barely any losses at the end of the battle. So that is how strong, how effective. Now, granted, this wasn't against a really strong opponent with lots of kill, with a high capacity to do a lot of damage. But they did have Rose in there with 7 skills max. So you were getting the benefits of, the opponent had Rose and buffing, North Rage and Rogue as well. Even if you didn't have some really effective, consistent skills being activated because you only had the 1S hero. So you can see as well, we got a combined combo of nearly 45,000 heals in the Legion during the battle. And Lawman healed just under 30,000. Then you had 9,000 from Army Breaker. And even Avalanche was getting some healed on that squad as well. So that is how effective this combination is. You could have actually had more heals, but literally the middle and back rows were at full capacity most of the time. So that's kind of why you didn't see that skill absolutely maxed out every single time. Okay, we've seen her in battle. We've talked about her skills. How good is Lawman? Well, for me, she's definitely in the top 10 best heroes in the game. Long term, she's a really key hero. She's going to be, well, she's already, as I say, in one of the top 3 combinations in the game right now, in that Lawman Army Breaker Avalanche combo we just saw. That's the best defensive cav combo that's out right now. She's going to work long term pretty much with any hero with these combinations, because like her synergy is not with specific elements. Like every time she gets hit, whoever she's against, she's doing that counter attack. No matter who she's paired with, she's healing her troops and their troops. No matter who she's paired with, she's reducing the damage that's being taken by all 3 rows on your squad. So Lawman is a really flexible hero. You can put her with pretty much anyone. Like I say, the top combo is Lawman Army Ava. You can put a Lawman Brave Roku, Lawman Immortal Living Saint, Lawman Army Immortal, Lawman Ava Rosen. I'm just going through the combinations I've written down here. Lawman Warlord Avalanche, Lawman Immortal Rosen, Lawman Immortal Ava, Lawman Warlord Immortal, and then Lawman Warlord Living Saint. So mainly the combinations that you're looking to put her with are defensive combinations, where that middle row hero is also like a support defensive hero. And then she does, as I say, work with any of the main 3 killer heroes, cav killer heroes, which is the Avalanche, Immortal, and Living Saint. So that Lawman really is that flexible. You're not going to want her in an offensive legion per se. That's not where she's going to be at her most effective. But if you're looking for a defensive cav legion, then Lawman is the #1 hero you want in that combination. There we go, guys. That is everything on the Lawman. I hope you've enjoyed the video and found it informative. If you have, please do click on that like down below. If you have any comments or questions about Lawman, feel free to pop a comment down below, and of course I'll try my best to give you an answer. And if you haven't already, why not click on that subscribe and ring the bell so you get notifications whenever I'm dropping channels on the video, which is daily. And if you could please share my channel in your Alliance Chat, Province Chat, and through Line, WhatsApp, Viber, Discord, whatever you use to communicate with your fellow players in the game, that would be absolutely brilliant. That's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon.